A beloved college professor is gunned down right on the university campus.
I'm afraid I'm a bit of a loss for words just because it is such a tragic situation.
It didn't make any sense. Who would do such a thing and target him? But as detectives dig deeper, they learn the suspect is someone who once sat in the classrooms.
It's actually, beyond the charges, I really don't want to answer any more questions.
This is Inside the Crime, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Elizabeth Millner. Investigators say this wasn't something that just happened in the heat of the moment. They believe the suspect had been planning it for a while, and in the victim's final moments, he recognized who was behind it, saying, "I knew you were going to do this." It's October 5th, 2022. We're in Tucson, Arizona, on the campus of the University of Arizona. The fall semester is in full effect, but around 2 p.m. that afternoon, a startling call comes into 911. The caller said someone was in the Harshbarger Building. They needed a police escort to get this person out. Now, that's the building where the Department of Hydrology and Atmospheric Sciences is housed. According to the Associated Press, the building is just northwest of the university bookstore and student union. Then as officers made their way to the building, suddenly they were getting reports shots had been fired. The campus immediately went into lockdown. Officers learned the shooting left 2 people wounded. One victim was treated at the scene after being struck by a bullet fragment. The other victim was shot multiple times and had to be rushed to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Students, faculty, and staff were shocked to learn that the victim who passed away was Dr. Thomas Meixner, the head of the school's Department of Hydrology and Atmospheric Sciences. Now the question on everyone's mind was who did this and why? Was it random? Was it revenge? When officers arrived, the suspect was in the wind, but witnesses got a good look at the suspect, someone who was once a student in those very classrooms. The search for the suspect ended more than 100 miles away from Tucson when a driver was chased down after refusing to stop.
Walk back. Is there any other occupants in that car? Is there any weapons in that car? What you got? Stop right there. Go ahead, I got him. You got him? You got him? Yeah. Let's go clear the vehicle. All right. You don't see nothing. You go open the door. It's nothing. 2 miles south Grad. 466, we got the subject. 11015, we cleared the vehicle. We're code 4, you can release traffic.
All right.
Well, thank you. Wonder who's gonna come take him.
Officials confirmed this was the man they were looking for. A 9mm loaded handgun with ammo that matched the 11 shell casings found at the scene was found in his car. Plus, the driver was ID'd as 46-year-old Murad Dervish, who just so happens to be a former student at U of A.
All right, we'll swap cops and we're gonna walk him over to my right. Okay. About. Are you okay?
Uh-huh.
You're not hurt or nothing?
No.
There you go.
You want to that first?
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Unhook it and put mine. Yeah, go ahead, open. All right. All right, go ahead, get the other one.
You probably searched them originally, but make sure you search them again.
Yeah, I'll double check. You feel alright, bro? They're not too tight or anything? Alright, hold on. Yeah, you can double lock. Come in, please. Just gonna search them again. Alright, thank you. Alright, man. Got nothing that could poke me, nothing like that. No syringes, nothing like that. Nothing sharp. Just watch your step, all right?
I'm gonna stay with him.
Okay. I'm gonna bring him over on the passenger side. I'm gonna double check my ride in here. Make sure. Just double check it. If you, yeah, you have to move him over there more. Thank you. All right, man. You're good. Watch your step, all right, bud?
During a press conference post his arrest, the U of A police chief revealed the former student should have never been on campus.
The suspect was initially described as a white male, about 5 feet 8 inches tall, 35 years old, with short brown hair and wearing a blue baseball cap. The University of Arizona Police Department received a call from someone in the Harshbarger Building who reported that a former student was in the building. The student wasn't allowed to be in that building. It was someone who was known to the staff member as a former student, and they believe that he should not be in the building.
According to a probable cause affidavit, Murad was expelled from the school in February of 2022, 8 months prior to the shooting. He was banned from being on any U of A property. According to the document, he was the subject of several reports of harassment and threats made to the staff members at Harshbarger. It was so bad that an email reportedly circulated with Murad's photo, along with instructions to call 911 if he were to return to the building. As he sat in the back of the squad car, it appeared he began to quietly talk to himself under his breath.
You down along the farm lane? You guys take your time.
Ready? All right, man. Do me a favor. We're gonna transfer you over to U of A PD. Sure. You want to step out for me? All right.
Yeah, but it's all good to go. It's all set up.
Do you want to swap cuffs right here? All right, going to stay right there for me, okay? Just gonna get these ready so that way whenever I turn you around, I can just put them right back on, okay? So whenever I take a cuff off, places it on top of your head. Do you understand? Top of your head. Same with this one. All right, go and face the car for me. All right, go and bring this arm back. And your other one. Just gonna double check, make sure these aren't too tight, okay?
If you guys want to search him one more time, that's fine. Yeah, we'll go into the car.
All right, we're gonna walk back to their car, okay? All right, go and face their car. They're gonna search you real quick just to double check their boxes. So do me a favor, go and spread your feet for me. No, search your.
It doesn't matter. Here, I got it.
You got all these guys up front. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I do have one I'd like to use.
Anything in your shoes or anything like that?
By 2 a.m., Murad was in an interrogation room. refusing to talk.
So are you a grad student here, or?
I was.
Okay, because I see you have a CAT card.
Right, yeah, I was a grad student. So actually, like beyond the charges, I really don't want to answer any more questions. I don't think I should really answer any more questions, without a lawyer.
Okay, well, you're free to answer whatever questions you want.
Yeah.
If you choose not to answer a question, that's completely within your rights.
Mm-hmm.
So if I read you a question you don't want to answer, just say I don't want to answer it.
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Well, I think I'd rather, just talk to a lawyer, first before.
Okay.
I would just like to know the charges and then
Okay.
get a lawyer. And wait for the lawyer
Well, I'm happy to answer your question. Do you have questions for me?
to tell me just what the charges are.
Okay. So right now, there's a gentleman, Tim Corley, who was injured today. I don't know if you know Tim. Tim was hit by a stray bullet. So that's, at a minimum, we're looking at aggravated assault for Tim. So that's one of the charges I'm looking at.
Okay. That's the only charge.
No, there are others I'm considering.
Such as?
If you don't want to talk to me without a lawyer, that's fine. We can wrap this up pretty quick. We have quite a bit of evidence. And I think you know what that evidence is, but I'm not going to press you for any question, press you on that. It's really unfortunate because I would really like to hear your story. I was an undergrad here a long time ago, and I got treated really poorly by the staff here.
Yeah. You'll hear my story in court. If you're there.
Probably.
Eventually.
If you feel it's important for you to tell it to us now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will say, well, your story changed based on what the officer said. Had you told him at the outset what the story, now you're just changing your story, your version of events to fit the evidence.
Right. I'll just let a lawyer advise me.
Okay.
On that.
So you don't want to answer any of my questions without a lawyer?
No.
Okay. I am charging you with murder in the first degree.
Oh. Okay.
You look surprised.
You tell me of whom?
Okay, you said you don't want to answer my questions.
Well, then you don't have to answer my questions, I guess.
Okay. I would really like to hear what you had to say today. We found a gun in your car.
I'm sure you would like to hear it.
We found a gun in your car from this order of protection. It looks like you're prohibited from possessing any firearms. Let me see, for Brianna Moreno. Date served March of last year. Okay. Your car has been taken to impound. We're going to hold on to it there for a while. We've searched your home, your car, and there's things that before we leave tonight that I need to search you for. Specifically, we're going to take buckle swabs, and we're going to take your clothing as evidence.
Buckle swabs?
Yes, it's a DNA swab that we take from inside your cheek. You rub a Q-tip.
Yeah, I've had that done before.
You've had that done before?
Yeah.
Okay. We're swabbing your hands as well.
Swabbing my yeah, I assume you do that, yeah. Figured you do that.
You figured we'd do that?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to hear. You were kind of...
Yeah, I figured, yeah. I just heard people do that. Well, it's a shame we can't talk. We seem like we have a lot in common. Going to U of A and living in San Diego. Unfortunately, I can't speak with you without a lawyer.
You are free to. Those are your right. You are free to speak with me.
I am. Yes, I know.
But because you are under arrest, and and you're being questioned, then yes, you have the right to an attorney to be present during questioning.
Right. Maybe if you had waited till 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe I would have talked to you.
Well, yeah, and I understand you're tired because we're tired too. We started our day early.
Yeah, I started my day early too.
Had we met up earlier in the day instead of way out by Ajo, we probably would have gotten started earlier. Yeah. I'm not sure it's quite 4 o'clock, but we're coming on. It's 2:30. It's getting kind of.
Maybe we could have a lawyer here. We could have. Although I don't think the public defender works that fast, though.
I don't
we
think
probably would have to wait anyway. So.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Dervish. You're going to be here for a while we work on some paperwork.
Okay. Just stay here.
We're going to move you back into the other room in just a second.
Okay.
Yep. Just a minute here. Okay. At least I fulfilled my mission.
That wasn't the only chilling comment Murad allegedly made. This is what the officer noted in the probable cause affidavit. Post Miranda, but prior to questioning, Dervish made the following spontaneous statements. I hope he's okay. Probably wishful thinking. I just felt so disrespected by that whole department. A woman wouldn't have done this. And I was going to kill myself, shoot myself, but I couldn't. An Arizona judge ruled to hold him without bond. In addition to first-degree murder, Murad was also charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, possession of a deadly weapon by a prohibited possessor, endangerment plus burglary. By May of 2024, the case went on trial. According to a report by 13 News in Arizona, the prosecution argued during openings Murad knew what he was doing. Prosecutor Haley Weigold told the jury he left because there was an expectation of consequences. He knew what he did was wrong, and he needed to get away. The defense reportedly opted not to make an opening statement until the prosecution completed its case. Witnesses testified Murad wore a surgical mask and baseball cap. They heard loud noises or bangs, then saw Dr. Meixner running toward his office with gunshot wounds as Murad pushed his face against the glass of the door. The jury was informed of the threats made by Murad in the year leading up to the shooting. Some of the threats were reportedly anti-Semitic, how Dr. Meixner orchestrated a Jewish-led conspiracy against him, even though he was reportedly raised Roman Catholic. Meanwhile, Murad's attorney argued his anger toward Dr. Meixner stemmed from a bad grade on a test, that the murder wasn't premeditated. He's guilty except insane to second-degree murder. This is what the defense said during its closing argument. Murad Dervish lost his mind on October 5, 2022. He had severe mental health issues. He did not know right from wrong. The prosecution clapped back to that argument, saying he is not guilty but insane. He's just guilty. On May 21, 2024, the jury found Murad Dervish guilty of first-degree murder plus 5 other felonies. The following month, he was back in a courtroom again for sentencing. During the hearing, Dr. Meixner's colleague spoke about a kind, passionate mentor, scholar, and leader who propelled the department to excellence. Not only that, his murder impacted the mental health of students and staff, and for many it was tough to return to campus. Dr. Meixner's family made an emotional plea to the judge and requested Murad Dervish be sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. One of Dr. Meixner's sons reportedly told the court he had feelings of dying because he wanted to hold his father again, while the victim's sister criticized the university police department and the person who sold Murad the gun. Murad reportedly apologized to the family during his statement, while also claiming his attorney made a lot of errors during trial, like not getting a change of venue and claiming the entire process was unfair. Well, Pima County Superior Court Judge Howard Fell responded, "Right now, you are going to prison for the rest of your life." Murad Dervish was sentenced to life in prison plus 14 years with no chance of parole. Online records show Murad Dervish is serving his sentence at a state prison in Buckeye, Arizona. In 2024, Dr. Thomas Meixner's family settled a $2.5 million lawsuit with the University of Arizona after accusing the school of failing to protect him from a student who repeatedly threatened him. That's it for this episode of Inside the Crime. Be sure to check out more episodes on the Law&Crime YouTube page. I'm Elizabeth Millner, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow for another case.